Hey, this is Alderwoman Maria Hadden, Chicago City Council, representing the 49th Ward. Today is Thursday, and I'm giving you a new monthly series on what happened in City Council yesterday. So I'm going to try and do these updates every month, the day after City Council, just to unpack kind of what happened, some of the things I was excited about, things we introduced, and of course, work that is coming from our 19-member strong Chicago Progressive Caucus. So I co-chair the Progressive Caucus with colleague 40th Ward Alder Andre Vasquez. This is my second term in office, my second term in the caucus, and I'm really excited about our growth and the amazing work that we're going to be doing for the residents of the city of Chicago this term. So one of the first updates I'm excited to share is we passed an ordinance that my team introduced to create the Chicago Shoreline Advisory Board. So if you live along one of our mini communities that are right up along Lake Michigan, you know that our shoreline, whether it be the beaches, the DeSable Lakeshore Drive, the built infrastructure, the walkways, the bicycle paths, is just one of the most important features. My community and the far South Shore community went through some pretty scary times a couple of years ago when Lake Michigan levels were at their highest. We had storm events that were eroding 1 to 2 feet of shoreline and threatening people's homes, their apartments, their condos here in Rogers Park, and destroying infrastructure on the South Shore area of the city as well. We know that we need to have our city departments, our state agencies, our sister agencies, and our federal partners at the table to not only respond to and prepare for emergency management, but to proactively plan for how we're going to manage this most precious resource. So I want to give a shout out to my team, for our Committee on Environmental Protection, and for all of my committee members who supported this and helping us to move this forward. We look forward to starting this first Shoreline Advisory Board in June, so stay tuned for more info. So, also at City Council yesterday, myself, Alderman Villegas, introduced, as we've been working with partners like Alderwoman Jeanette Taylor in the 20th Ward and the Chicago Housing Initiative, we introduced the Accountable Housing and Anti-Discrimination Act. So we know that affordable housing, we need more of it here in the city of Chicago. But one of the other issues is that it can be hard to find when you're looking for that rental housing, when you're looking for those purchase options. Where do you go? Whether you're going to CHA, whether you're looking through various apartment finders or companies, we know that for too long it has been way too complicated for people in Chicago to be able to go to one place. And we're looking to create a centralized wait list, right? An online portal, easy application process so that people can apply for all the wait lists that they're qualified for in one portal. We also know that putting this in one place is going to help us to fight housing discrimination, which still exists and still makes it very difficult for people to get the housing that they deserve and that their families need. So really excited to share more about this as we move forward. But yesterday was the introduction. Stay tuned next week as we meet with advocates to have some press on this and share more details about what we are going to do and how we're going to improve the lives of Chicagoans with the Accountable Housing and Anti-Discrimination Act. Lastly, I want to bring up what came up with the continued discussion and debate in City Council with the mayor over ShotSpotter, owned by the company Sound Thinking, and the technology. I did not support the ordinance that Alderman Moore put forth. It did pass 33-14 yesterday. Now, first I want to clarify, and I made some comments in council about this. The ordinance was easy to vote against because the ordinance was written to give our superintendent of police the authority to enter into and extend the contract for this and other technology. This is not a power that the city council can give or should give to the superintendent. It crosses our separation of powers clauses that the legislative body cannot take on the powers of the executive body, and we can't bestow them on someone else. Also, the superintendent reports directly to the mayor of the city of Chicago, and so even with the passage of this, even if it didn't violate the separation of powers clause, the mayor still gets to decide. The superintendent works at the behest of the mayor. Now, the concerns are very real. We know here in the 49th Ward and our 24th District, police district that we sit in, we need more tools in order to make it easier for residents and for our businesses and for our police to coordinate information and to be able to work on preventing and following up and getting justice for people who are the victims of violent crime. So preventing crime, crime prevention. ShotSpotter is a gun detection system. We do not have that technology up here in our ward. I do know that the mayor's office on community safety has been working to put together a process, a request for information to look for better technology options for the entire city of Chicago. I'm supportive of that. And I look forward to some briefings that we're going to be getting from the mayor's team next week on what that looks like, what their future vision of better, more effective technology that can help us directly address and prevent gun violence will look like. I do want to share my comments from the floor yesterday, however, in knowing that the ShotSpotter contract is supposed to end in just a couple of days on the 22nd. And right now, there is not a plan to fill that gap from the termination of that service to whatever our next service will be. And yesterday, we did receive new information, a new offer from the company that they would be willing to do a short-term extension of the contract at a generously discounted rate. So I did implore the mayor to meet with alder people representing communities who currently have this technology, to work with them, to evaluate the options, and to see if there isn't some kind of compromise to make sure that communities don't go without this service in the short term while we're working on getting a better, more comprehensive technology solution that's going to serve all of Chicago. Thanks for tuning in for this little council debrief. I know the videos can get kind of long. Make sure you sign up for my newsletter. Follow us on social. So 49thward.org. You can sign up for the newsletter, find my other social accounts. And we do a weekly newsletter update on all things 49th Ward and community events. And we do a monthly legislative update that includes work from our Committee on Environmental Protection and Energy that I chair, as well as information about other important legislation happenings all through the city of Chicago. Have a great day.